How do you write an argumentative essay? Like SpongeBob here, do you experience the four stages of exam essay writing, which he illustrates? Hopefully not. In this e-lesson, we will cover how to write an argumentative writing. We will try to achieve the following objectives. Number one, determine what argumentative writing is. We'll start with a definition, the purpose, genre, and features of argumentative writing. We'll also structure an argumentative essay. Specifically, we'll look into how the introduction, body, and conclusion are written for an argumentative essay. And finally, we'll try to write an argumentative essay, and I'll also be sharing with you some guidelines which you have to observe for your writing task. Hopefully, as well, you'll be able to apply the tips and strategies here in the future when especially you're going to write argumentative texts. Okay, so let's continue now with what argumentative writing is. So an argumentative essay takes a position on an issue using logic and evidence to convince readers. So it's essential to take note here that you have to have a position, meaning to say you have to identify your stand, and in order to defend that stand you have to use logic and evidence so that you may be able to convince your readers. Now, uh, an argumentative essay usually explores, by that we mean research an existing argument and take a position in it. So the facts, figures, and relevant information have to come from credible and validated resources. Okay. Usually, these are typically pieces of writing in which an author expresses his or her opinion about an issue that is important not only to the author, but also to a wider audience. Generally, we have commentaries as an example of a particular argumentative text, but in the academe, we have research papers as very good examples for argumentative texts. Now, let's see what are some features that you have to be mindful of when trying to write an argumentative text rather. So here, we have to identify a pattern of meaning in events, trends, and ideas. Meaning to say, we have to be able to identify what could be emerging um, trends related to the issue that you are trying to explore. It privileges informed opinions. So here, we are to make sure that the opinion we're going to share in the text should be something that is researched. Okay, it helps people understand complex issues through the writer's points of view. So hopefully, you will take note here that you are not just to present the supporting arguments, but you really have to acknowledge the opposition as well. In that way, you attempt rather to persuade readers to see things in a particular way. So when we say a particular way, again, with emphasis on your supporting arguments, you will also acknowledge the opposition and at the same time rebut that one. Okay, it relies on analysis and interpretation, specifically of the information which you have gathered, and you have to take a position wherein you are to also share some subjective views or your own perspective, although again it has to be based on research. Ultimately, it helps to shape public opinion. So we aim to write an argumentative text so that we can not just forward our ideas, but at the same time contribute to the growing um, discussion or conversations about the issue that you have explored. Okay, now how do you structure the argumentative essay? So that's probably a concern, especially if this meme here is what you get to visualize when trying to compose your, say, research paper. Again, a form of argumentative text. But later, we'll be exploring how to write an introduction, body, and conclusion. If you have questions, please write them in the e-lesson. Okay? Thank you.